Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today our video was taken when I first got back on the horses after they had a week off after snow, and I got back on just in my jump saddle and my mum was there and she got some videoing, and we just chucked out some poles and some fillers and sort of had a play. The horse that I was on, it's a lovely horse. He's still fairly young. He's only 7 this year, so we were sort of expecting him to be a bit more fruitful than he was. He was a very good boy. He's got a lovely brain and he's just a lovely horse all round to train. Wicklow Into Orbit, otherwise known as Obie. I'm so excited about him. As you'll see, but he's quite a big horse. And he can get a bit lumpy, if you get what I mean. And so we're always trying to work the muscles just behind his pole, because that's where he fixes if he gets strong. We're trying to work them, keep him loose over his top line and working, and over his back, and keep everything loose, because what I'm aiming to do is have him so that I can just sort of press him on a bit and then bring him straight back and have him really responsive to me, and have him really on my aids and almost like a squeezy ball that you can sort of compress and release, and it's all elastic and loose and easy. So that's what we're always aiming for with this horse, and it has taken a lot of time. He came to me and I got him as a 5-year-old, and he was quite strung out and lacking a bit of muscle, and we've built him up, and he's at the minute looking really, really good, and he's recently put on a lot of muscle and conditioned. He's currently looking a bit like John the Bull, but we're absolutely thrilled with how he's looking. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll explain what I'm doing to try and keep him really loose and supple and responsive to me throughout the video. So here he is. So he's just doing some bounces there, and then I went off to do some flat work and jump this filler, change his lead, and again I'm changing the lead, and what I'm doing as I come into the lead change is that I'm leg yielding off my new inside leg and just changing my leg aids, and then I go off and do maybe a bit of shoulder in, come back to the bounces here. The bounces are really good for getting them to be really quick and picking up on their feet. I might come back to the filler again, and I just keep working him, and all the time I'm sort of moving his pole slightly to the left, slightly to the right, slight little bit of flexion, changing the bend. Changing the bend really helps. Pole's on a slight turn, which also really helps. And now I've come in the trot, and we've raised them up a bit because this horse has a lot of scope in his trot, a lot of cadence. As you can see, he finds the raised poles really, really easy. So I just raise them up just to make it a little bit more difficult for him, maybe. Not too difficult, or change the rein. And yeah, I'm just saying on the video that he's developed much more self-carriage, that we're really pleased with that. And he finds these poles really, really easy. And what I like about the poles, they're Jump for Joy poles set up on poly blocks, and they're just there. He gave them a little bit of a knock, but they're just, and there he jumped them.
Was that jump?
Because he's really pleased to be back in work. But I wouldn't tell him off for jumping them, because actually, if you think about it, it's really good that, see, good boy, that he's thinking on his feet and learning and sorting me out. And there, yeah, like I was saying, there's just enough resistance there that they can give it a good knock, and they won't come down. So we're not constantly putting fences up and down, which is a bit annoying. And now I'm just doing a little bit of working pirouettes, so it's quarters in on a circle, which really helps open up this horse. And then go back to the poles, and you see how he finds the raised poles really easy, and he's got enough scope in his step that he might stand off a bit and he can sort me out. And then I'm coming in the walk and just letting him think his way through. And there he just sort of got a little bit confused, but that's fine. He sorted himself out, and he worked out what was going on. And as event horses, we want them to think on their feet and work out what's going on. And there he got that really nicely. I was really pleased. I'm sort of trying to vary the outline between your collected walk, your free walk, and your extended walk. Because it's really good to develop all three walks. Probably heard me in that video all the time saying good boy, and sort of encouraging him, because it's really important when they're young to be really positive and not chastise them for getting things wrong, because like as humans we get things wrong, so of course as horses they will as well, and that's only natural and normal. So it's important not to punish them, and just calmly, if it's in walk, bring them back to walk, in trot, bring them back to trot, in canter, bring them back to canter, bring them back to the original gait, and just repeat until they get it right. If they get it wrong again, that's okay. Again, you just bring them back to the original gait. I never tell them off unless they're being maybe naughty, which he wasn't being naughty. And normally they're not being naughty, normally they just don't understand, which is okay, and you might have to take it back to basics and re-explain it to them, because at the end of the day horses are generally not being naughty, they're just trying to work their way through things. And I quite like it when they are clever and try and sort of sort themselves out. If they're not on quite the right sort of stride, or quite in the right rhythm, they just sort of adjust themselves, because you've got to think they're event horses. On the cross country course they do have to adjust themselves, they do have to be able to think without their rider needing to tell them everything all the time, so they've got to start to learn a bit more independence, which is why I would sort of say, okay, sort yourself out. But when they do, make sure you praise them, because otherwise they will think that's wrong. And then they might not sort themselves out when they need to, which we're always trying to train them to perform on the day at their absolute best. And they can do that when they're thinking for themselves. If you like that video, make sure you like and subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below to tell me what you liked about it and what you'd like to see next, and I'll try and do that. And you can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. I'll leave my tags in the description so that you can go and follow me, and hopefully you'll be able to join the community and we can all continue improving together.